Here's a nice, easy way to model interlocking laser cut parts in FreeCAD. I'm using the FreeCAD ribbon add-on. I've put detailed instructions on how to set it up exactly like this in the description below. Let's make a new file here. Next to the menu is new, and create a sketch. Select the XZ planes, which you can see is the front plane, to sketch on, and then you open the Sketcher workbench. I mean, it opens up automatically. Let's make a rectangle, which will be the back of a little knick-knack shelf. And you can see there are different types of rectangles. Let's pick the regular one. And it's always a good idea to attach sketch objects to the origin, or at least reference the origin. So let's click the origin, the blue point here, and if you drag up and to the right, you can see that you can input dimensions and specify how big you want this to be. Let's say 60 millimeters wide, and then press tab to switch to the other dimension, and 100 millimeters tall, enter. And then we have a nice green rectangle, which means that it's fully defined, and that's how we like it in CAD. I'll explain later. Let's close this sketch. It's complete. And the way you move around in FreeCAD is, well, the way I move around is I choose the Blender mouse. So you rotate and pan and zoom like you do in Blender, because I teach Blender as well at our Fab Lab in Ísafjörður. There are other ways. CAD is the default in FreeCAD, and other, it can emulate other programs like Revit, Tinkercad, and you can use the touchpad on your laptop as well. But in the Blender mouse mode, you zoom in with the scroll wheel, and you zoom in you zoom where the mouse is. So if I want to zoom in on this corner, I take the mouse there and zoom there. You rotate by holding the scroll button, and you pan by holding Shift and the scroll button. Let's extrude this sketch. And you can see that one number is highlighted, the length of the extrusion. Usually programs just have one number, but you can extrude along and against, so both directions. Let's put in the thickness of our material. In my case, it's 4 millimeter thick MDF wood, and press OK. So now we have a 3D object which we can rotate. Let's make the sides of the little knick-knack shelf. Click the front face. It becomes light blue, so it's highlighted. If you accidentally click again, then you select the whole object. You don't want that, so select it again, and then you select just the face and make a sketch on that face. FreeCAD wants you to confirm, yeah, I want to sketch on this plain face, okay. And then, don't follow me now, but I'm going to make a rectangle from the origin, and I'm going to make it snap onto this edge. I can't. The reason for that is this is 3D geometry. It isn't inside the sketch. I'll select the front view, and then I can pan by holding Shift and the scroll button. To be able to reference this edge, we need to create external geometry. Let's click the edge, and you get a purple dotted line, which is a reference line. I just right-clicked to stop using that command. And here is that line. It's here. Now we can make a rectangle, a regular one, from the origin. And just be careful to be exact when you select things in CAD programs. Hover until you get this here symbol. Did you see it? So you're in the rectangle command, and you have that symbol next to your mouse. When you hover over a line, you get this symbol, which is a constraint where a point is fixed to a line, and if you go here, the point is fixed to both lines. So exactly in the bullseye, click on that, on the point, and take the rectangle up to this purple reference line, and you can click just about here on the line. I don't know why I'm getting errors. I think I've messed up some setting in my installation, but let's make another rectangle from this corner down to the x-axis, which is always red, and you wait until you get the extra symbol there, the coincidence constraint, like that. And so I'm going to right click to stop using this command. You may need to try a few times to select things just right. It's worth taking a little bit of time to get it right. And the undo button is your best friend. Now, the rectangle is fixed, this line is fixed, but this is free to be moved, and this is fixed, and this is free. So we want to make this line on top and this line the thickness of our material, which is 4 millimeters. So to do that, we make a dimension. Click dimension here, and click the little line between these 2 points becomes highlighted in blue. Click it, then the dimension appears, and you put it down. Let's put it down above the rectangle like this, and then you can input the length, 4 millimeters. Enter, and the same on this side, 4 millimeters. And then, if you noticed, I'm going to undo. Now there's no dimension. This line is black, which means that it's not fully constrained. This one is green, which means it's fully constrained. I can't move it. I have to leave because there's a fire. Oh no, it's done. It's been put out. And this whole rectangle is green, which means that it's fully constrained. You can't move it accidentally, which is exactly what we want in a CAD program. We want things to be precise so that they fit exactly together. The only way to change this rectangle is to modify this dimension. If you have a different thickness of material, maybe you're using 3 millimeter thick plexiglass, you could do that. But I have 4 millimeter thick MDF. So I'm going to put that dimension in both these places and close the sketch and extrude. What I forgot to mention when I did the first extrude is that maybe it didn't work for you because your sketch wasn't selected. If I let's close this and just select anywhere outside the part, just in here, and try to do an extrude, then you get an error if you press OK. No shapes selected for extrusions. Select some first. And on the bottom here you have the first sketch, which is the back, and the second sketch, sketch 001, which is our sides. So let's select that one and extrude it, let's say 40 millimeters, like that. So we have our sides, and let's make some shelves. and sketch on this face again. Select it so that only that face is highlighted, not the whole part. Select it again if the whole part is highlighted. You want it to be like this. Create sketch on plane face. Yep. And then we want to make rectangles that are exactly between these two lines, you know, between these two parts. Let's select the front view. But this isn't inside the sketch, it's just 3D geometry. So let's create external geometry. This could have a better name, but it's okay. And select this line, and you get a tiny purple point. Do you see it? That is our reference line, our purple dotted line. It's just hidden behind that black line. And select this edge as well, and you get a purple point. I don't know if you can see it on the video. And then you can make a rectangle between these lines so that it snaps to them like this. And that. It doesn't matter how big they are exactly, we'll use dimensions to control their thickness when we've made them. I don't know why I'm getting these errors, they don't really matter. But now these are fixed to our reference lines on either side, but you can move them, except for this one. This one actually accidentally snapped to the middle of this vertical purple reference line. This is an extra constraint that FreeCAD made because I clicked on the middle of this line. I'm going to scroll down and delete that constraint so that I can move this around. It's this one. Delete. Now it's free. And now I have to attach this point to the line again with a coincident constraint. Click the point, click the line. There we are. And right click to stop using the constraint coincident command. Okay. We want these, in order for this assembly to work, we need these shelves to be exactly 4 millimeters thick. So as before, we'll make a dimension and scroll to zoom in a little bit or a lot and select this line and put the dimension here to the side. Click 4 millimeters, enter, and the same for the other two shelves, 4 millimeters. Hold shift and hold the scroll button as well to pan up and put a dimension on this. So this is good. We can make it like this, but if you want, and you can drag them around. I recommend putting the bottom shelf close to the bottom, but not completely at the bottom, to make the shelf a little bit stronger. But if you want an even spacing between the shelves, you just make dimensions between them. Dimension. Let's select the bottom line in this rectangle and the bottom line in that one, and 24 is the current length. Let's make it a little bit bigger, about 30. I right click to stop using the command to get my mouse back so I can select this and drag it up. 30 or 40 maybe. I double clicked to edit the dimension, and then I'll make another dimension between this bottom line and this bottom line. Click here, 40. Here we go. Yeah, I like this better. Right click to stop using the dimension command and drag this up a little bit. Yeah, this is nice. Let's close the sketch. Now you can see the sketch and you can extrude it. 40 millimeters, let's put that here in the highlighted field, 40. Okay. Oh, there's something wrong. Can you see it? I can see inside these sides. They're not solid, they are just surface bodies. Let's go into the model tab and select the sides, and the solid option is false. Let's make it true, and now you have solid bodies. Okay, so we have our shelf, but we are missing all the joinery. That's where the laser cut interlocking workbench comes in. It's an add-on. You go into Tools, Add-on Manager, and just search for LC interlocking and install that. Fine.